Okay.
I was in a dream for a long time. When I woke up, you had gone somewhere far away. Won't you be here with me?
Coming back to my apartment after a week away, I felt ready to refresh the energy and think about how I was going to approach the second half of 2020. The first thing I did was make a to-do list. A list of things both chore-related but also more mental health and clarity-focused, I guess. At the top of the list, I wrote a reminder to myself not to focus too much on the tasks but on the bigger picture. Mostly, I feel like I just wanted to feel inspired and like I had some sort of direction and active approach to life. The first half of 2020 was obviously completely unforeseeable, and I guess I'd just sort of gotten into the habit of just responding to what was happening in the world, which was totally fair and understandable and reasonable, but the reset was mostly to get me out of that habit though, and out of that headspace. I started by changing and cleaning the apartment. I wanted to bring in a physical sense of freshness since I'd spent so much of the year inside these four walls and would probably be spending a lot of the rest of the year in here too. I opened the windows and wiped everything down, and later on in the week I switched up the decor a bit. I also sorted through my clothes, which helped not just with clutter but also helped me visualise what items I'd be wearing for the next while, which was almost like a way of deciding how I'm going to strive to feel, because clothes are so, I don't know, linked to emotions for me. I also organised a driver's theory exam and started studying, and it felt great having something tangible to work towards, some sort of plan. Going around to Matilda's doorstep with gin and tonic and hand sanitizer. But then came a minor setback. Okay, update. My chest has gotten a lot tighter. I'm gonna go to the doctor. The receptionist was saying she might send me straight to like a hospital, but I really hope that doesn't happen. For days I've been getting these weird shooting pains in my chest, and a few days in they escalated to the point where I had to go to A&E. For the past 3 days I've had this chest pain. It's general tightness, but then every few hours or so I would just get this stabbing, like this really intense pain. So I went to the hospital, and it turns out, what's it called? Costral carditis, something like that. The cartilage in my ribs is inflamed. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna be fine, but I just have to stay pretty still. I'm going to be real with you. I went to bed for 4 days, totally trying to move as little as possible, and I sort of gave up on my big reset plans. But then something strange happened. Lying there, taking painkillers, reading and watching YouTube videos, I started to feel inspired. I think some of the intentions that I'd been setting earlier in the week started metabolizing in the back of my mind. One night I just decided to really go big or go home, and I wrote out a list of all the things people say are life-changing habits, like meditation and gratitude journaling and all the things you hear people talking about online constantly. I felt this sudden drive to explore them and really give these things my all for a while. And I can't explain it, but the next day and the day after I just had this excitement. It's very hard to capture rain on camera, but trust me, she's coming down.
Nice warm summer night in Ireland.
Feeling very grateful to have a lovely cozy place to myself on this absolutely Baltic summer night. Even though it's not very summery and seasonal, you have to admit there's something kind of magic about a bright evening with a cup of tea and a book and the rain on your window and candles lighting. Life is good. It was this tangible joy and new burst of creativity. Maybe it was because I had promised not to watch any TV or screens for a while, which meant I had nothing to do but be creative and journal and read. Or maybe it was the fact that I had kind of cold turkey quit sugar and caffeine. Or maybe it was all the meditating, or maybe it was a combination of everything. This is night 1 of my new routine. I feel amazing. It may not last the whole time. I may hit a slump. I probably will. I think maybe the biggest thing is the fact that I'm completely trying not to watch any kind of Netflix or YouTube or anything for the moment. So completely off all screens. Cold turkey. And I think I was just really creative and really like, I don't know, my brain feels really good right now. I meditated and did yoga in the morning, and then meditated and did yoga again in the evening. I did gratitude, I journal loads. I journal loads all the time, but I wrote like pages and pages, and I sound really like myself in it. It was just me gushing about how like good I feel and all the things I'm excited about. I just feel so excited. And I'm sorry that I sound like one of those YouTube biohacking bros, but I really did feel such an optimism about life. A real re-energizing. When the week was over, I had done pretty much everything on my list except go to nature. 5 a.m. baby. I got up at 5 a.m. purely because I was so nervous about the virus, so I wanted to get a train that nobody else would be on. But it was sort of magical being in the city at that time, with the whole place to myself. 5 a.m. had a newness about it, just like my rearranged posters or my organised wardrobe. It made me think about how normally, in any other year, in summer, we would probably be trying to go away somewhere hot and sunny in order to recharge ourselves and see something new. And yet, here I was, finding a freshness and a newness in the same place where I'd literally been quarantining all year. And I know I say this with an immense amount of privilege, but at least for me it was interesting to realise that freshness and inspiration is something that we hold the capacity for within us all the time. Slight foil in our plan. Today's on Monday, but it's a bank holiday Monday, which I didn't realise. So the trains are going on Sunday times. So the 6 a.m. train isn't happening till 8:45. I'm gonna hang out in the city and watch the sunrise for a bit. It was just rough going through the coronavirus lockdown in the city centre. I kind of wished I was in the hills. The whole thing was just really scary to me. I just found it really scary being here. Anyway, this week I feel a lot safer. I'm just falling deeply in love with Dublin again. Feel like I'm in a deep love affair with the city. Every time I look around I'm like, I can't believe I live here. This is so cool. My life is a dream. Even this week when I had to like stay in bed for like 4 days, I spent so much of those 4 days just looking around my apartment being like, I can't believe I live here. I'm just feeling very in love with life right now. I want to like hold on to that feeling because I didn't feel it as much during lockdown because things are kind of grim, and I want to like build practices around the magic of life and feeling the magic of life. And that's kind of why I'm getting up at 5 a.m. to try to go to the beach, not very successfully. So the purpose of this week in some ways was I just wanted to reset my energy a bit, and the whole thing was all over the place, of course, but generally speaking I feel like it really worked. And there's a few takeaways that I definitely have, and I might explore them more in later videos. There's 2 quotes that I saw in the last while that have really spoken to me and are kind of like a little bit of what I want to focus on for the next 5 months of 2020. So the first is this quote I saw, which is, there's no right or wrong time, there's only time and what you choose to do with it. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. I'm actually going to take my jumper off, it's actually warm. With health stuff, a lot of the time I get an impulse to do something, be it make a video, be it go to the beach, be it take up a new hobby. And I think about it and I get into it, but I don't do it, and the reason I don't do it is because I decide it's not the right time. If I don't have any energy, then obviously it's the wrong time because I can't do it. And if I have just gotten a little bit of energy, then it's the wrong time because I don't want to fuck it up. There's a few things that I've been meaning to do for a very long time, and this week I thought a lot about all the things I've been meaning to do, because during COVID and lockdown and everything, I did a lot of things that I've been meaning to do, like those Turkish videos which you saw a few months ago. I edited them like during the lockdown, and they've been sitting, like the footage had been sitting on my laptop for like half a year. But also things like I read books that I've been meaning to read, just little things like that, called people, wrote to people, got back in touch with people. And I have a little list of things that I've been meaning to do that require some energy but not that much, and also create energy. One of them is I want to be a year-round sea swimmer. It's such a Dublin thing. There are these people who live in Dublin who go swimming at all times of the year. I don't know, I spend so much time in my flat, and I just want to just do more lovely things and go out more and have a more interesting life. So I guess apropos of there's no right time, there's only time on what we choose to do with it. Even though I'm recovering from costoral carditis, I've just been like, listen, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling strong-ish. Today's the day. It's still pretty chilly though, like I'm a little bit chilly right now,
So I'm not sure. It's gonna be tricky, but I'm gonna get into the sea and I'm gonna swim. The second quote that I saw recently that I thought a lot about this week is this quote that's like, if you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. Balance is good and just being a regular person is good. But 2020 is extreme. 2020 is an extreme sport. I've seen a lot of improvements in my health because of the extreme rigorous routine of it all. Ooh, I'm cold. Oh, I don't want to get into the sea, but I'm gonna. Hello, Baltic air. I decided to write out all of the like wellness, morning routine, biohacking things that everyone's always telling you to do on the internet that I always laugh at and ignore. And I'm going to, for the next 5 months, really give it a go. And I'll go more into that in another video if you're interested. Anyway, without further ado, yikes. I'm gonna do it. Oh, good. I feel amazing. Oh my gosh. Fuck me, that was cold.